Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to talk about Instagram grid consistency. Does it matter, and why would you do it? So it's 2017, I'm in college, I'm shooting weddings, graduations, etc. And my Instagram page looks like this. While the photographers that I follow, their Instagram pages look like this. I became really focused on how to develop a consistent body of work that was cohesive. I started paying attention to the photographers that I liked, their portfolio, and what type of photos they uploaded to have a consistent look on their Instagram page. And eventually over time, my work began to look more and more consistent. I was developing a style. And fast forward to today, my Instagram looks much more like this, and I have a lot more confidence in not necessarily having amazing work, but essentially being able to analyze my own work over time and how to manage my style. I'm going to be talking about Instagram grid consistencies, but really this is a talk about portfolio work and how you present it, whether it's on a website, a different photo sharing app, or elsewhere. I remember starting off in photography and seeing that a lot of my favorite Instagram accounts had grids whenever I hit their profile. It was just this very consistent look and feel, and I was very interested in having my profile look that way, but I had some questions. So the first question I had was whether going for a consistent look and feel was limiting creatively. Did that mean that I couldn't post photos that fell outside of my grid theme? Eventually I landed on an analogy that was helpful for me, and that's to think of your grid as a home and decorating a house. Do you prefer a minimal look or industrial or even eclectic? I decided that what I wanted for my work as a whole to do is evoke a certain feeling or a certain mood. Just like decorating a home, you would have some type of color scheme. What if they see a beautiful piece of furniture that they really appreciate, and suddenly, because they've chosen, say, neutral tones for their home, they can't buy that piece and display it? This doesn't mean I have to restrict my palette when I'm out photographing things. It's kind of like decorating a home. It doesn't mean you can't appreciate other types of furniture or a neon couch or something like that. Even if you only have neutral tones in your home, you can still take that photo. You'll also come across photographers that don't really have a style. Maybe you see some film photos, maybe you see some dark and moody edits, and then you see light and airy. Under my framing of Instagram being a portfolio of like cohesive work and kind of this analogy of stepping into a home, those types of Instagram pages are kind of like walking less so into someone's home and more so into a furniture store that has amazing pieces. All of the individual pieces may be awesome and intriguing in their own right, but together they may not work. And that is completely fine. Not everyone has to adopt this framing of seeing your portfolio work as this cohesive body of work. But if you do want to work towards having your own style, you don't have to let it be restrictive also. There are lots of ways to have a cohesive grid without letting it limit your creativity and the photos that you post. One of the ways is just not having a photo that falls outside of your grid style as the first photo. Just make it a carousel and make it the second, third, etc. photo. Another way would be to have stages or seasons of consistency in your grid profile. One example Instagram profile that's done this very well is Maddie Greer. If you scroll through her work, she has tons of consistency, but you'll see that it changes over time and it's blocks of work that are all consistent. Short Stash, on the other hand, is an Instagram account where I feel like I could pick one of his photos out from many others, and whenever you land on his profile, everything is very consistent and you can definitely pick up the vibe that he's going for immediately. In my next video, I'm going to do more of a how-to session and go through how I put together my grid and developed it over time back when I shot weddings, and how I eventually came up with a pretty good approach for having a consistent grid style. I'll also share my current process for how I try to have a consistent grid. So hopefully you found this video interesting. If you did, please hit that like button and subscribe for future content. If you have any thoughts around Instagram and the grid and consistency, please drop your comment below. Love to hear it. And until next time, thanks for watching.